one question was, what's some of the biggest challenges you've experienced while scaling your business from 1 to 100 different locations? And how do you overcome those challenges so you can break through to the next level? And my second question was
Repeat the first question real quick. I
the
heard the
first question.
first part of it. You said
No
something
worries.
about scaling, but what'd you say at the beginning?
No worries. What's some of the biggest challenges that you've experienced while scaling your business from 1 to 100 different locations, and how were you able to overcome those challenges and take your business to the next level? And my second question was, what marketing and advertising tips could you share that has helped your businesses most?
Yes. Okay. So first question, challenges. Obviously, we talked about the capital part earlier. I would also say understanding when to delegate, because when you don't have, like, the reason why people raise capital is so that they have the money to be. Wait, please. So that they have the money to be able to, like, hire all the positions that you need, right? So I have this business. I want to, like, Randy wants to open an IT company. He wants a CMO, chief marketing officer. He wants a CFO. He wants to hire a separate C. Okay, he wants to hire a separate CEO. He wants to hire multiple techs, all this stuff, right? Cool. Well, if you don't go that way where you raise money, right? Then you end up wait, please. You end up having to, like, basically do all these things yourself, right? So, like, you're starting from the ground up. When I started my business, I was the CMO, I was the CFO, I was the COO, I was everything, right? And then, so understanding when is it time for you to actually give those things up, because the way you look at it and the way I used to look at it, okay, cool. I hire a CVO. My CVO right now makes 144,000 plus bonuses. CVO is Chief Visionary Officer, right? So then I'm sitting over here and I'm like, I do that myself now. That's 144,000 I can just keep in my own pocket. I don't have to, whatever. And what I realized was, when I stopped thinking like that and I started actually, like, spending the money when I had the money to do that, is when we scaled tremendously. Because a big thing for me, and why delegation is so important, and I also do this for my staff, like my assistant that I talked about previously, she has an assistant, right? So if I don't sign any documents. Like, if something gets emailed to me and it says, "Hey, Ani, will you please sign this?" I send it to my assistant. She signs my name. She scans it and sends it off, whatever. So I delegate everything, including that, right? So what I realized for her and for myself, if I have my plate full, like, think about like a dinner plate, right? And it's Thanksgiving. You have your mac and cheese. You have your turkey. You have you have your greens, you have all this stuff on your plate. And then it comes time for your stuffing. You have no place to put the stuffing on the plate because everything's full. So for me, I want a clear plate. So if I have a clear plate, every single day, whatever it is that comes onto my plate, I can handle immediately. If I don't keep a schedule. So, like, Josh and James know, I told them, last time I talked to them, they asked me to do this. I said, hey, make sure you guys text me the day of, because I literally do not keep a calendar, right? So anyone in my operation knows, if you want me to hop on a meeting, you need to text me 15 minutes before the meeting, and I'll hop on. I'm always available. If you text me, I respond back pretty much immediately, because I don't have anything on my schedule. This is the only meeting I had on my schedule all day, but I work 18 hours a day. So it's like everything that pops up, I'm able to handle in real time immediately because I have a clear plate. Does it make sense? My assistant.
Yeah.
I tell my assistant, if I need her to do something, I expect it back in an hour or less. But if I have her plate bogged down, oh, she's doing payroll, she's doing this, she's doing that. When I give her something, I get a response back in 5 hours, and she's like, well, I was doing this, and this. And this is all stuff I assigned to her. So instead, hey, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go hire someone, hire an assistant. I'm going to pay them. That's your assistant. You delegate the stuff that you know how to do, you delegate to them. You are still responsible for the results. So if they mess up, that means you messed up. But I want you to delegate as much as you can, because whenever I need you to do something, I need you to do it immediately. So people call me with something, I hit up my department heads, I hit up my assistant, I'm instantly forwarding the email to whoever it is that needs to be done and getting that done. So that's the big thing when it comes to like making sure like the things that are on your plate are basically you get them off of your plate as quick as possible. You have an empty plate to be able to handle the things at hand. That was the first. What was the second question again?
My second question was, what marketing and advertising tips could you share that has helped your business most?
Okay, yeah. So marketing and advertising tips. So I think in this day, things have changed. So in this day and age, the number one way to market is going to be influencers. So it depends on what, are you direct to consumer? Are you B2B? Those are the things that make a difference. So for me, I'm B2B and direct to consumer. So like Glow is direct to consumer. So we're looking for actual people who are tanners to come to our salons, right? But then I'm also B2B because I own a franchise, and independent tanning salons convert to my franchise, right? And then you also have people who've never owned anything that just want to start, you know, a Glow. So advertising wise, in terms of, we'll talk about the direct to consumer. So obviously, Google AdWords is huge. Anything that you can actually prove out and anything that you can see metrics for is what's important. So like doing a billboard makes no sense. Putting yourself in some random magazine makes no sense. Those are all like in what I call ego plays. So you want to be able to drive down the road and see a billboard with your face on it that says Cornelius Plumbing, and you know your friends are able to see that. How do you measure that to know that that's successful to actually bring clients in the door, right? That's called branding compared to actually being able to measure your ROI on the actual, like with AdWords, you can, like it's pay per click, right? So you can actually see those things. So I think that, I also think marketing, one other thing marketing wise, I think marketing yourself. And that's something that I learned from these guys from the School of Hard Knocks. You know, when we did our interview, very random, you know, my following was like 20,000. My content was very much like, I'll actually put my, I'll put my IG in here for anybody.
I got you. I have it. I'll put it in right now.
Yeah. So my content was very much lifestyle content. I wasn't really doing business content. I was just living my life. And I don't know why 20,000 people thought that was interesting, but they did. And after the interview, which the interview, you know, at the time was like, you know, they're one of their most viral. These guys have blown up crazy since, I think at the time they had like 400,000 followers. They're like at 2.5 million now. Because of that, my Instagram just got flooded. We went from like 20,000 to like 70,000, like pretty quickly. And everybody was like, man, we really want to, you know, hear what you have to say, blah, blah. So we, you know, I hired their agency. Their agency is who does all my content. So they have two different aspects of businesses. They have the School of Hard Knocks, and they have the agency, which does content editing, and they have a, you know, big operation over there. And when we did it, I'm spending money, so I'm paying them, and I have no revenue that's coming in to justify what I'm paying them to do the content. But I just knew that marketing myself has value, and it will figure itself out over time, right? So I also think in personal branding is extremely important, because you might not be doing what you're doing right now in the future, but as long as you have a personal brand, you can shift that to something else. So it's, I think influencers, I think making sure that anything that you do advertising wise, you're able to actually like show metrics for what you're doing and if it actually works. And then B2B, just this week bought the largest tanning. There's only 2 tanning magazines that go to every tanning salon owner and you know, salon in the country. bought one of the two this week, actually. So to be able to control the voice of the industry and obviously to kind of push, the agenda that we want to push within our industry. So that's how I'm handling the B2B marketing on that.
Yeah, that's a great information. And that is exactly where I'm at in my business right now as far as delegating tasks away. But my executive assistant's plate is a little too full. So that's very helpful and insightful information. Thank you all.
Yeah, no problem. And for your assistant, if your assistant's like amazing, I would have that person hire an assistant. And then literally just tell them the things that are just like their daily tasks, like, say they order inventory or they do whatever, it's like they could delegate that to that person and make sure that they fill up that person's plate, and then you keep pushing off as much as you can push off of your plate onto your assistant's plate. And you have two people handling the job compared to just filling up one person. So you can now spend your time growing the business compared to spending your time, actually doing the work.